Slowly, generation after generation, they transformed from improvised militias into a distinct class. From these beginnings, the samurai would take shape. The transformation accelerated during the Heian period, which began in the late 8th century. In the capital of Heian-kyo, today's Kyoto, courtiers lived lives of extraordinary refinement. They wrote delicate verses, debated the beauty of flowers, and engaged in endless rituals of elegance. But while nobles immersed themselves in aesthetics, the provinces grew restless. Local lords could not rely on the distant court for protection, and so they turned to warriors, men who could enforce order with the bow, the sword, and the horse. These warriors served not as independent agents, but as retainers, bound to the service of great families. It was here that the word samurai began to appear, meaning one who serves. It was not yet a title of glory, but it carried within it the seed of what would become one of the most revered identities in Japanese history. As the decades passed, certain clans grew powerful enough to rival the authority of the imperial court itself. Among them were the Taira and the Minamoto, two families whose names would echo through the ages. At first, they acted as enforcers for the aristocracy, suppressing uprisings and maintaining order. But ambition and rivalry soon pushed them beyond service. Their battles became struggles for dominance, their victories reshaping the future of the nation. By the late 12th century, their rivalry erupted into open conflict, the Genpei War. For 5 brutal years, Japan was torn apart. Warriors thundered across battlefields on horseback, arrows cutting through the air, swords clashing in the chaos of combat. This was not just a war of power, but a proving ground for the emerging identity of the samurai. They fought not as faceless soldiers, but as individuals eager to carve their names into memory. Before battles, warriors would call out their ancestry, daring their enemies to meet them in single combat. Honor was their weapon as much as steel, and to die bravely was to preserve one's name forever. The war climaxed at Dan-no-ura in 1185, a dramatic naval battle where the Taira were crushed and their remnants scattered into history. The Minamoto emerged victorious, and with their triumph came the dawn of a new era. In 1192, Minamoto no Yoritomo established the Kamakura shogunate, seizing for himself the title of shogun, military ruler of Japan. The emperor still sat on his throne, but his power was hollow. The true authority now belonged to the warriors. Japan had entered the age of the samurai. The consequences of this shift were immense. The samurai were no longer provincial fighters tied loosely to local lords. They became the backbone of the political system, a class distinct from farmers, artisans, and merchants. To be samurai was to be part of an elite, bound by loyalty and rewarded with land or stipends, but also burdened with unyielding responsibility. Their entire existence revolved around service, to protect, to obey, to fight, and to die if necessary. Their weapons became symbols of that duty, especially the bow, which in these early centuries was more important than the sword. Mounted archery was the true art of the samurai,